I had barely started recording in time when the XLDHBWK flew past me, heading northbound. Thankfully, for my next train, I had time to manage to get ready for it. This is the southbound HKCK TPL, with a new crew just fresh out of Flynn Yard. After this train, things died down for a little while, so we decided we'd go ahead and grab some lunch. When we came back, this northbound North Yard Fort Worth to Tulsa mixed manifest had gotten itself a new crew, and was in the process of putting itself back together in the Moore siding. Right behind this guy was the northbound HDYTGAL, so we quickly decided to move to 12th Street, where we managed to catch him just in time. Not long after the HDYTGAL mixed manifest passed, the northbound North Yard Fort Worth to Tulsa mixed manifest slowly started making its way out of the siding and more. About an hour later, we got word of a northbound, which was the northbound ZALTWSP, and you could tell he took very little time getting up to us. A little while later, we caught sight of the northbound QROBCHI entering the siding and more. He'd be entering the siding because he was planning a meet with the southbound ZWSP-ALT, the counterpart to the previous Z train. Just like the other Z train, he took very little time getting to us. After the Z train passed, I noticed Flynn Yard's switcher set had just barely poked its head out, so I decided to grab some quick footage of it while it was out. Not long after the switch shed disappeared back into Flynn Yard, the northbound Q train started making its way towards us, slowly but surely. We had one last train in store for Saturday, and that was the southbound grain shuttle. I didn't manage to capture the symbol on this guy, but I do believe he was one of the grain shuttles bound for Eagle Pass, Texas. We returned to the 12th Street crossing around midday Sunday to find the southbound UBRMEAP. This guy's a rock train, and he's probably bound for some maintenance in Texas or some sort of new construction project. Either way, it was still a nice catch getting to see it. There was a northbound sitting in the siding of Moore, but we had a little bit of time, so we decided to go ahead and move up to Crossroads Mall and the north end of the GM crossover. The guy that we were meeting here was a northbound unit train, a sand train to be precise, and he took very little time to get up here. This is the USOX EOC. After this train, we decided to go ahead and grab some lunch, and we would move on to my Model Railroad Club, the Oklahoma Model Railroad Association. The OMRA is home to Virtual Railfan's newest camera location, with both a static camera and a 360 rotating camera. Just short of the club was the southbound QCHI PEA. He would slowly start making his way to us just after a couple minutes of waiting. After running my model trains for a little bit, I headed back outside to find the northbound ZALTWSP. He just got a crew change in hours and is fresh to continue on his journey up north. After a little while, we decided to head back to Crossroads to catch some more trains, where I had barely managed to catch this northbound Q train. I was under the assumption that I had more time than I did, and I barely missed him. I did not get a symbol for this train. Not long after, a southbound grain shuttle made its way to us. I didn't catch a symbol for this guy either, but I do remember this was a grain shuttle that was bound for Eagle Pass, Texas. And that's just about as much as I can tell you with this one. After this guy, we moved to Moore to catch our last train for the Memorial Day weekend. This monster of a northbound Temple to Tulsa mixed manifest. Seriously, this guy was long. Probably the longest Temple to Tulsa mixed manifest I have ever recorded. This guy had stopped before he had managed to get past the crossing, and I was about to pack up and start leaving when all of a sudden he started moving again, just like that. So I decided to go ahead and stay a little longer, see if I could catch the end of it. Finally, the end of this monster train had finally finished crossing over the crossing. Unfortunately, the sensors didn't really detect that, so they had to move it up just a little bit more, and the crossings finally went up. What a way to end the Memorial Day weekend rail fanning. At milepost 392.6 on the BNSF Red Rock subdivision, this is Warbonnet Productions, out.